Okay, thanks again for joining and happy 2023. Today we're just going to be talking about kind of how to be successful this year and 5 steps that you can take to kind of change things, right? I always say, it's important to remember that, every day is a new day. And, for us, and Juan, my husband, says this all the time, sales has no memory, right? It doesn't matter what you did last year, although what you did last year can help you this year, right? We always have to be looking forward, right? And we have to be looking to what we can do in order to create success because, sales has no memory, right? And there are 5 things that I think you can do to be successful and things that you can think about changing. One is your mindset, one is goals, one is your schedule, one is learning, and the other is networking or prospecting, right? Depending on where you are in this business, it's either going to be networking or prospecting. So we're going to go through each of these 5 things. And really the idea of today is to get a commitment from you to start doing these things, right? And doing these on a weekly basis. I think if you put a little bit of time into each of these things every day, and again, if you change your mindset, if you create goals, if you create a schedule based on those goals, if you learn and kind of continue to build your knowledge and your abilities in this business, and if you network and just talk to more people, you are going to be even more successful in 2023 than you were at any other year you've been in real estate. So, okay, so the first thing is mindset, right? And, this is something, again, you might say, oh, that's kind of a little crunchy granola for me, but nothing gets done without any intentions, right? And you can't be successful in this business without wanting to be successful. And, some people say, you have to start your day with intentions. You have to start it with ideas of what you're going to do that day. But really, I feel like the law of attraction is an extremely powerful force, right? The more that you think about the success that you want and that you're going to have, the more that the actions that you take over the course of a day, a week, a month, the rest of the year will try to attain those things, right? So if nothing else, you have to be prepared to face adversity with a good attitude, right? We are bombarded on a daily basis with negative news, right? And the reason for that is that the news cycle makes its money. People want to read about all the bad things that are happening in the world. Well, if you think that, then the actions that you take over the course of the day are going to be tempered by the fact that, oh, the market's slow. Oh, no one's buying anything. And I can tell you, and again, I could show you the income of our top agents over the last year. Even in a market with high interest rates for half the year, a lot of people had their best year ever in real estate, right? If you look at the market share that's out there, right, the number of transactions that happen across the 5 boroughs of New York, it's astounding how many houses sell in a given year. And if you capture even a very small percentage of that, you're going to be extremely successful. But you can't do that if you let the negative news, right, the high interest rates and things like that, dissuade you from putting effort into this business, right? There are rentals happening every day. There are sales happening every day, right? Listings are going up. Things are going into contract. Things are closing, right? And so if you start your day, or if you start, your work day by saying, I am an amazing real estate agent because, right? And I will be successful in 23 because, right? And again, for everyone, it's going to be different, right? Maybe some of you who've been in this business can say, I'm an amazing real estate agent because I have the knowledge and tools to help all my customers realize their dreams, right? Some people might say I'm an amazing real estate agent because I have the energy and enthusiasm to get through a tough market, right? And you can do the same thing, right? So think about what you're good at, what you want to become better at, and why you're going to be successful this year. And for me, this is something that it's really great, and it's a good exercise to write down. I'm not going to make you do that right now, but if you have a chance, right, write this down, right? Why are you a great agent, right? Can you articulate to someone in a short period of time what differentiates you from everyone else who's on this call and all the other, tens of thousands of real estate agents that exist here in New York City? And if you can't, think about it, right? And we can meet about this and talk about what benefits you have and that you can provide being an agent and being an agent with Weicker to everyone that's in your sphere of influence. And why you're going to be successful this year, right? I'm going to be successful because I'm going to prospect for an hour every day and get more clients, right? That's a great thing to think about, because again, if you can do that, and even if you can do half of that, right? If you can do 30 minutes a day, you're going to be extremely successful. We'll talk about that a little bit more down the road when we talk about, networking and prospecting, kind of how we're going to look at it. Now, again, the second thing is to prepare goals. And this is where I think I can come into play, and where, again, if you have an idea, we can build on that, because you can achieve anything that you want to this year. You just have to set a goal, and you need to write down that goal, and you need to make sure that those goals are SMART goals. And again, many of you have been on this before, where we've talked about SMART goals. And really what differentiates a SMART goal from just, again, a goal or throwing something into the universe is that SMART goals are specific, they're measurable, they're attainable, they're relevant, and they're time-based, right? And so you might say, I want to sell $100,000 this year, right? And again, that might be specific, and that might be attainable, but it's not exactly measurable, right? Well, it's sort of measurable, but it's not fully measurable, right? And so what we can do is, by creating goals and having them at different time periods, right? And backtracking that goal, right? Maybe that $100,000 goal means, right, that you are selling 10 apartments, or again, here in New York, we're lucky, it's probably like 4 apartments, right? So you can say, I want to sell $100,000. I want to make $100,000 this year. And in doing so, I need to sell 4 apartments, right? And then what do? We backtrack from there, right? We can say, okay, if I want to do $100,000, then every day I need to post 20 ads on RentHop, right? And every day I need to do, or every week I need to do 1 rental. Or again, if it's sale clients, every quarter I need to sell a house, right? And then in order to do that, we're going to backtrack even more and say, okay, in order to sell 1 house a quarter, that means I need to be working with 5 people or 10 people, or again, everyone's going to have a different kind of conversion rate, right? And again, as we do our one-on-ones, we're going to go through this and backtrack, right? Because for every sale that you have, you need to be working with more people. And for every people that you're going to be working with, you need to do more prospecting, right? And so really what we're going to do is we're going to take these goals and we're going to backtrack them through a calendar, which is the next thing we're going to talk about, to really see what actions you need to be taking on a daily, a weekly, a monthly basis to get to that long-term goal, right? And again, in this example, maybe it's 10 sale closings in 2023. So that means you need 1 new sale client or 3 clients that you're working with every month. And again, in order to get that, maybe you're taking 50 Opcity leads a month, or you're taking X leads, or you're doing X mass emails, X phone calls, X text messages, hosting X open houses, right? And based on certain numbers, we can backtrack all these different things. So again, make sure that you have a goal for this year, and it can be financial, it can be number of closings based. It has to be, again, relevant, right? It has to be real estate related. And from there, we can backtrack, and again, we can create a schedule for you. Oops, should be the next thing. Great. So again, I kind of hinted at this a little bit because all these things kind of work together. You need to prepare a schedule. And this is the thing that I believe is the hardest for everyone who works in real estate to do. And it's not hard to prepare a schedule. What is extremely hard is to actually stick to that schedule, right? I can talk about myself, the schedule that I have laid out for myself, and I don't always stick to it, right? And sometimes it's hard, right? We get a phone call, we get a text message, someone's in town, we go on a trip. And so, what we want to do is, again, we want to make sure that we are creating a schedule that will help us achieve the goals that we have. So what we do is we take the goals, right? And again, I want to sell 4 apartments, make $100,000 this year, right? And again, what does that mean? That I have to average a sale every 3 months. So, and for me, I need an average of 10 sale leads to get 1 of them into contract, right? It's 1 in 10 that kind of convert. You might have 1 in 20, right? So that means you need to up these numbers as well. And that can mean also that you need to make 200 prospecting calls to get 1 lead, right? Or send 20,000 emails to get 1 lead, right? And so when we do these numbers, and when we kind of look at our schedule, we need to fill it, and we need to first fill it with the activities that are going to get us these leads. Many of us fill our schedules with busy work, right? Things that are not creating new business for you. And so my task for you is to plan time to prospect, right? That is the most important thing that can be on your schedule. And again, you can go back through the videos, we can talk about it on our one-on-ones, how you are going to prospect. We all do it in totally different ways, right? For some people who have been in the business for a while, your prospecting can really be, based on your past work and the work that you have, right? If you have a couple listings, you can prospect off those listings. If you have past customers, you can continually take time to prospect to them and to open your network to the network that they have, right? At the same time, for people who don't have any network, who don't have any past customers or clients, then you really need to focus on getting more people into your sphere of influence, right? And there are many ways to do that, right? Through the My White Group system, through hosting new home buyer seminars, from targeting rental buildings, so many things we can do. And again, one of the most difficult things that I find for real estate agents is that they do not take enough time to prospect, right? And so about 80% of your time, until you're at a point where you have so many customers that you're not actually able to take on new ones, about 80% of your time should be prospecting, right? That's not taking out people to see apartments. That is not, hosting, I guess an open house is kind of, again, borderline there, but that's not exactly hosting an open house, right? Those are things that we do to service our business. But what we want to do is we want to take time to create new people that we're interacting with that could become future customers and clients. We should also take some time to plan, right? We should put time in our schedule to plan, right? What we're doing over the next week, to look back at the week before and say what we did well and what we didn't do. And the other thing that I think everyone has to do is plan breaks, right? Plan lunch every day, right? Plan going to the gym, plan vacations, plan a day off, right? My thing for myself is I always try, and again, it doesn't always work, but I always try not to do anything real estate related on Saturday if I can help it, right? Because that's my day for me. That's my break day. Again, open houses I host on Sundays. I interact with you guys all week. I take people out after work and stuff like that. But Saturday is my day to take a break. And so again, your schedules better than I do, right? You're the ones who create your schedule, and create it so that you do take these breaks that you need, because again, you will get overwhelmed, you will get burned out. And it's important to make sure that you're planning these additional things. Okay, so love to learn, right? Again, especially this time of year, there are a couple things that you should be doing and adding into your schedule. But these are things that will pay off dividends in the end, right? So again, we have so many workshops. We have so many things that are recorded on my YouTube channel through Weichert University, right? Again, my Weichert also has a success plan, which helps you with prospecting. So if you haven't done the success plan yet, make sure you do that. That's kind of the basic training. It will teach you how to use the My Weichert system, which is one of our greatest tools to reaching out to new people, right? We've had agents, and again, over the last, I'd say 2 years or so, since we've really fully been using My Weichert, we have done, I think, about $20 million in sales through mass emails that went out, right? Again, some of you on this call have done it before. You have access to an infinite amount of material in the palm of your hand, right? And so make sure that you know what's going on in real estate, because that ability to know about the market through things like Urban Digs, through OLR, through blogs, books, articles, whatever it is going to A, keep you excited about the business, and B, make sure that you have information that you can share with other people, right? One of the videos that I did late in the year was about how to kind of refute the bad news that we have, right? To show people if the market's still moving, to show people if there's money to be made and things like that, right? One of the biggest things that I always talk about with people is that, hey, you might be renting, and even with interest rates where they are, you're going to save money by purchasing something, right? If you have that down payment, if you have the post-closing funds and things like that, you could still save money, because again, rental prices aren't great, right? They're still on the higher side. So think about that, and again, devoting time every week to learning, right? Being on this workshop is one thing that you're doing to kind of learn more about, again, how to change your mindset, how to set goals, how to really get in the swing of things. But there's so many resources out there. And again, make sure that if you don't do this, that you start to do this. Again, even if it's an hour a week, right? checking out new developments, right? Learning about new listings that are on the market, right? There are so many things that you can do to learn more about this and to immerse yourself in this business. If you see that you get distracted easily at home, come into the office, right? We have tons of space here. There are other people here doing deals. You can learn from osmosis, right? You learn from hearing about what other people are doing and things like that. And again, we're going to be moving offices in sometime in March up to Union Square for anyone who hasn't heard about that. And again, we'll have a lot more space there, which is really exciting, so that you'll be able to learn more from there. So, okay, so the last thing is to spend time to wake up your network, right? And right now we're at a perfect time to reach out to every single person you've ever come across in your life. Right? Why? Because it's New Year's, right? Maybe you miss saying Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah or, Happy Holidays, but just say Happy New Year. Hey, just wanted to let you know we're back in business, excited for the start of 2023, right? For anyone that you sold to, maybe a small gift or a holiday note, again, a New Year's note, let them know how you are and ask how they are. People love a call, right? You might say, oh, I'm bothering them. Someone won't answer their phone if they can't answer it, right? So just give them a call or send a handwritten note, right? Tell them about your goals and ask for help in attaining them, right? This is one of the greatest things that I learned, right? Sometimes we can be kind of caught up on just telling people what we're doing. Oh, I'm working real estate's great, yada, yada. But if you say to someone, hey, Jim, just wanted to say Happy New Year. Hope you started your year's great. How are the kids? Blah, 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 blah. My goal is to expand my network this year and to sell 5 properties, right? Last year I sold 4. I want to sell 5 this year. And I really need your help in getting that. Do you happen to know of anyone looking to buy, sell, or rent something? I'd love to be introduced to them. As you know me, you can trust me. It's not a hard sell or anything like that. But I just really, really want that. I could really use your help in attaining these goals. 90% of people aren't going to say no to that, right? They're going to be like, oh, actually, you know what? So-and-so said they were thinking about it. Let me introduce you guys, right? And that network that you have for anyone who's been in the business for a while, or for anyone who's had any other job in the past or went to school or whatever it is, right? We all have networks, whether you think you do or not. Again, they're not going to remember what you do if you do not tell them, even if you think they know, right? When I was a full-time agent and not working in management, I tried to reach out to everyone in my network once a quarter and to meet with them once a year, right? That was my personal goal. And again, take them out for coffee, take them for lunch, take them to a museum opening, whatever it is, right? The more face-to-face time or, touches that you have with people, right? A lot of these prospecting people, like Buffini, Tom Ferry, they talk about touches, right? You need to touch people, 10 to 12 times to get a referral from them. So make sure that you're reaching out and waking up your network, right? Even if you're new, again, people. And again, if you don't know anyone, then your network is going to be the neighborhood that you live in, the neighborhoods that you work in. Use cold realty, mass emails, postcards, text, whatever it is to start to create a network, right? You got to get your name out there somewhere, right? We are in sales. People need to know who we are. Again, we can't be secret agents, right? We need to be out there publicly, right? So again, think about that, how you've woken up your network and what you can do to reinvigorate them, right? Because that's going to be your best bet to get your business growing. That's it, right? It seems so simple, but each of these steps has a lot that's going to be in it. And again, 2023 will be your best year ever, right? If you want it to be, right? So you have to say to yourself, I want this to be the best year ever. At the same time, right? This market, which can be challenging, is going to be one where the people who put in the most effort now are going to be paying dividends, right? I was just talking to another agent, and really the mentality in 6 months is going to be, wow, why didn't I buy in January, February, right? Because once the spring comes, we're going to start seeing, lots of competition for properties. We're going to see people moving around, right? People who got married, divorced, all these things that happen, right? Had kids, got promoted, are relocating, whatever these things are going to happen. And again, by the spring, when people are kind of woken up, back from vacations, not wanting to deal with this fun weather that we're having right now, those are going to be the people who actually created the connections now are going to be the ones who are going to be super successful down the road, right? It takes time in our business. So 2023 will be your best year ever if you want it to be. Again, reach out to me. Let's schedule one-on-one so we can go over, again, what your goals are. We'll make sure they're SMART goals. We'll set a schedule for you, and we'll check in every week to make sure that you're actually attaining these goals and hitting them and stuff like that. So I'm going to stop the share and stop the recording. Thank you guys so much.